to extend the narrative and deepen the experience while preserving originality and an inspiring tone. We can expand each idea by adding more layers of reflection, examples, and sensations. The key is to vividly and tangibly detail the process of awakening and reprogramming. They taught us that the world was already set, a fixed structure where our only role was to find a space and settle into it. They told us not to dream too big, to accept the crumbs handed to us, to keep our heads down, not to question, not to feel deeply. They made it seem as though life was nothing more than an endless cycle. Wake up, work, repeat, until the very essence of who we were dissolved into oblivion. Prepackaged routine, a path paved by the expectations of others. Where originality was seen as rebellion and individuality, a dangerous deviation. But no one dared to tell us the deeper truth, the one that lives at the intersection of our perception and reality. The life you live is a mirror, a sharp and undeniable reflection of the mind you carry. Reality as we see it is not the world itself but a filter, a complex software, an invisible lens installed in us long before we were capable of choosing. This lens was shaped by voices, experiences, beliefs, and traumas, weaving a complex web of interpretations that became our truth. You don't wake up because of a conscious decision, but out of ingrained habit. Automatically, your hand reaches for your phone. You dive into messages and social media, and without even realizing it, you're already immersed in a routine you didn't write. That sequence of actions, that daily cadence, is a script dictated not by your present will, but by a set of mental programs running in the background. We believe we choose, that every decision is a conscious act of free will. But most of your choices were already pre-decided. They read distant echoes of forgotten memories, remnants of unprocessed traumas, old voices still echoing in your head. This is too much for you. You'll never make it. You're not good enough. You can't quite remember who said those words or when, but the feeling they sparked, that primal emotion of inadequacy or limitation that you still carry, and that feeling, subtle and insidious, still governs most of your actions and reactions. It's like trying to change the movie without switching the projector. You strive to change your external life, your job, your relationships, your finances, but forget that the real engine of your reality is inside your mind. Maybe that's why the same situations keep repeating, the same relationship patterns, the same financial struggles, the same frustrating outcomes. It's not bad luck. It's not fate. It's not some cosmic conspiracy against you. It's programming. It's mental programming, invisible and powerful, dictates what you tolerate, what you attract, and even what you sabotage. Often before you ever get the chance to reach it, you're living on autopilot. And the scariest part is, the pilot isn't even you. It's your past. It's your deepest fears. It's the deeply rooted belief that it can't be different. This belief whispers doubts, triggers procrastination, and fuels self-sabotage patterns that seem inexplicable. But the truth is, it can be different. Not with more effort, not with more external struggle, not with the mindless repetition of meaningless actions. True transformation comes from more awareness, as those who merely react to circumstances who live immersed in automation are doomed to repeat the same cycles. But those who awaken, those who raise their level of consciousness, they choose an awakening. Oh, awakening hurts. It hurts because the first thing that dies is the illusion. The sweet, comfortable illusion that you were in control, that the world was the great villain, and you were its helpless victim. Awakening is realizing that perhaps you were your biggest enemy all along, not out of malice, not out of choice, but out of ignorance, for not recognizing the power of your own mind to blow to the ego, a stripping away of the facade we built. But this pain, as intense as it may be, is the beginning of true freedom. The freedom to no longer be who others said you had to be. The freedom to look at your life and, with a firm and authentic voice, declare, "This is no longer enough for me." It's a scream of liberation, a refusal to accept less than what your soul longs for. Make no mistake, change hurts. It hurts to let go of old versions of yourself, like clothes that no longer fit. It hurts to abandon thought patterns and behaviors that once felt like part of your identity. It hurts to walk a path no one in your family ever dared to walk, an unknown and often lonely territory. But this pain isn't destructive, it's growth. It's your soul breaking through the shells that held it back, expanding toward a new horizon. It's the ego being crushed, not to be annihilated, but to make space for your true, authentic, and limitless self to finally breathe and bloom. Reprogramming and purpose. The inner conquest pain is the door. Awareness is the key, and purpose. Purpose is the direction. Living without purpose is like being a leaf in the wind, drifting wherever the current pushes you, without aim, without meaning. But living with purpose is to be a root. It is knowing why you wake up each morning, why you do what you do, why you choose to keep going even when everything feels uncertain. Purpose grounds you, gives your life meaning, and propels you beyond adversity. You don't need more external motivation. Inspirational speeches, self-help books, and catchy quotes may offer a momentary breath of air, but they don't solve the root of the problem. What you truly need is reprogramming. To reprogram your deepest thoughts, the ones that define your limiting beliefs. To reprogram your emotional responses, so you are no longer a slave to impulses and automatic reactions. To reprogram what you accept as true about yourself and the world. And this reprogramming doesn't come from the outside. It doesn't come from books, gurus, or magic formulas. It comes from silent observation, from the discomfort of looking within, from facing your shadows head on, without judgment, without condemnation. It's not about fighting those parts of you that are afraid, that doubt, that hesitate. It's about acknowledging that they exist, integrating them, and gently removing their grip on your life. The part of you that's afraid doesn't need to be erased. It just doesn't need to be the one driving the car anymore. The journey is simple at its core, but not easy. It begins with a brave decision, a declaration of intention that resonates in every cell of your being. I no longer accept living on autopilot. From that moment on, you become the creator of your reality, no longer a mere repeater of someone else's story. You begin to walk toward your essence, toward your deepest truth. And the further you walk, the more you realize. It was never about conquering the external world, about amassing wealth or status. It was always about conquering yourself, about unraveling the mysteries of your own mind, about releasing your dormant potential, about living aligned with your true self. And then the magic happens. The outside world begins to shift, to mold itself to your new perspective, to respond to your new vibration. Because the world inside has finally awakened.